Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Yes, sir. Back like I never left. What an amazing display of college basketball that went on Thursday through Sunday. I mean, before this tournament started, um, once we got the bracket, felt like this was the most evenly matched up bracket. Give my pencil some love that I have ever seen. I felt like it wasn't gonna be your average ones, twos, threes, and fours getting into the final four. Uh, Never thought it would be this crazy. I thought it would at least be one, maybe two one seeds that sneak in, and then maybe a 9 and 5 throw it in there with it. Um, but it was every round. It was. It has never been. It has not been one game that I've just been completely sure about as far as that is a lock. That's also why you haven't heard of Franklin Earl, Beard Winnington, or the Horns in about 2 weeks. I've had games that I was like, oh yeah, San Diego State over Alabama, for instance. Had it on my bracket, was 100% about it. The day came, I took the money line and the spread. It's been things like that, but it's not like I could tell you, oh yeah, that's a guaranteed lock and really know it or mean it. That's one of those underdog gut feelings that I'm riding. Happened to work out. I told you on February 6th, maybe February 7th, I got Florida Atlantic going to the Final Four plus 5,500. It happened to work out this year. It's been one of those crazy, loopy years. I have UConn to win it all on my bracket. Hey, you're saying there's a chance. Miami, I've bet on them every round this tournament, plus money every round. E-team, Florida Atlantic after they, I bet Memphis, I bet FDU, and then I said, you know what? Let me jump on this Florida Atlantic train. I already had a future, like I said, on them to get to the Final Four. So not only did I cash that in, I also rode them all of those games. I did hedge them against Kansas State, but I rode them against Tennessee for sure on the plus money line. I did hedge the Kansas State. Figured, hey, make a profit regardless. I was guaranteed going into that game a profit of pretty substantial numbers due to the plus 5,500 future. I was able to risk a little more than usual on Kansas State to try and hedge it. However, let's specifically break down this Sweet 16 Elite 8 that we just went through. I will preview the Final Four also. We'll probably spend the rest of the week kind of touching on that here and there. I'm not going to dive in too deep today on the Monday. A lot of stuff to get to today on Monday. Also want to talk women's March Madness here in a second. Two teams punched their ticket into the Final Four last night. The LSU Lady Tigers beating Miami in a low-scoring, defensive, heavyweight bout. And then on the other end of the spectrum, Iowa behind Clayton Clark's Candace Parker like, Candace Wiggins like, Stephen Curry like, 40-point triple double. That is Caitlin Clark like. Can't even compare it to anybody in the game before her. After that performance, Iowa has punched their ticket into the Final Four. I believe they faced Louisville last night. I bet on Louisville the round before that. So yeah, I want to touch on the women's a little bit. They have two games tonight to finish their Elite Eight and get their Final Four matchup set for this weekend. I will. Don't have any bets for it tonight specifically, but I will preview it a little bit and then try to give you some bets for the Final Four and the final game on that women's market. In the futures market, I have a ticket on LSU women's that I put in. Think I think it was right before Selection Sunday. It was like right when all of the madness was getting revved up. I might have taken it after the selection, the bracket came out, but I'm pretty sure I took it. I can give you an exact date. Actually, I'm logged in right now. I got to go through all these baseball futures I put in last night. Ooh-wee. Also, we'll get to that today. We have MLB geared to get things rolling. MLB opening day countdown is officially scrolling at the bottom. 3 days away from the most beautiful sport in America. Whether it's been ruined by a pitch clock or not, it's for you to decide. Me, I'm gonna make money off it, regardless. All this new rules mean to me is that take the overs until the books adjust and you start seeing them at 16 and a half, because it's gonna be a lot of offense, baby. That hole up the middle was open back up. The bases are 3 inch closer to the, like, why wouldn't they, like, common sense, you can make the bases 3 inches wider, push it back to the original 90 feet mark. You don't have to jeopardize any of the bang bang plays. I'm not gonna get on that though. Beautiful game, beautiful sport. In a minute, I will give you all the futures I put in. I didn't really dive too deep. A month or two ago, I gave you all my overs and unders for the season. What I did last night, took a few Cy Young's long shots, took a few. I took a bunch of pictures like over win total, probably about 7 of them. I will go through all those for you here in a minute on the show. Yeah, there's those 7 right there. I did take that one. Forgot about that. Riding with my dog, even though he's no longer a White Sox. I will tell you that one in a minute. And it was March 8th when I took this LSU future about 19 days ago. That's for the women's college basketball. You're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. Such an amazing weekend in sports, such an amazing time in sports. Last week, I wasn't even able to get to the golf. Some exciting stuff happened on the golf course this weekend. I didn't even get to finish my intro. NBA playoffs, baby, right around the corner. A few games left. Got some big news. Gonna break down that picture as well for you here in a minute. I will try to get all this in about 30, under 40 minutes for sure. Got 2 bets for you guys tonight, both of them in the association. I can start with the Sweet 16 Elite 8 recap real quick. I've kind of already touched on everything. I mean, Miami. Coach Larranaga has this team rolling on both ends. They're such a cohesive group. They rely on each other. Their chemistry's there. I've been afraid all tournament, even before the tournament started. And I've been bitten because I've faded this team every round. This is the one thing that has been like, I've been fading Texas every round, waiting for them to have a game where they go cold in the second half and allow the other team to kind of run away with it, which is what they did last night against Miami. It went about 6 minutes, only scoring 3 points. You just can't do that against a Miami team who has such an array of weapons on the perimeter. Miami beating Houston and Texas to go to Houston to play in the Final Four. That is a beautiful. Couldn't write a better script. They will take on UConn, who's my team that I have winning it all. This is kind of perfect how the bracket ended up, if you ask me. Miami, UConn, 2 kind of big name schools, powerhouse-like big universities. You got a great fan base behind both of these schools. Both of these schools have amazing winning perception Even if it's not in college hoops per se, like Miami is more of a football school, a little bit of baseball legacy over there in Miami. But this is their first Final Four, so you can add that now to the Hurricanes' legacy. UConn, of course, they won a few of these national titles. They've been to the Final Four. They're proven. They're tried. Their women's basketball is dominant every season. Men's basketball is always respected. Big East, baby. So this is like the matchup of the names, and then on the other side, you got Florida Atlantic versus San Diego State. Two Cinderellas, pretty much. I believe it's a 5 seed and a 9 seed. I mean, absolutely. Couldn't write it any better, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Wow. Lines are moving. Should have took these bets before I gave them out. However, so yeah, you got Florida Atlantic, San Diego State, UConn beating Gonzaga. Malachi Smith, who stepped up tremendously in the previous 2 games against TCU and UCLA for Gonzaga, kind of disappeared in that game against UConn. I mean, everybody disappeared. I'm not talking trash about him specifically. They were down like 80, what? They were down by like 40 points at one point. I might be dramatic, but I feel like it was like 82-47, 35 points. Could be wrong. That's what I remember seeing. No, I'm not going to look it up. Jordan Hawkins, Sanogo continue to lead this team. 2 of the most talented, impressive basketball players I have seen. 44, I think his name is Jackson. I love his game. Also, number 32 off the bench, freshman, big man. I think he will be one of the greatest college basketball players ever when he decides to go to the next level. Love his game as well. It's why I took UConn over Gonzaga. Because, yeah, Timmy might get his against Sanogo. Or, hey, Sanogo might lock him up. But when Sanogo goes out, they got another big man that's coming in and is just as talented, just as big, just as skilled, just as smart as Sanogo. It's not like Timmy would ever have a chance to dominate, whether it's the backup or the starter. He's just going to be getting thrown big bodies at him. UConn, underrated defensively. They're in the Big East, so you know the defense is there. You know they've been playing some of the toughest defenses all season, which has sharpened that knife of their offensive game going. Loving what UConn did. Love how they came out of the West region. It was a lot of big names. I thought whoever won out of UConn, Kansas would end up being the team to win it all. However, Arkansas took care of Kansas early in that region. Could have went either way with a lot of those games. I mean, that's how this whole tournament went. This is probably the most madness a madness tournament has had. San Diego State has, oh my God. Every game they've played, they've been down or they've had a stretch where they go down 8, 10, 5. But it's like, dang. I don't know if they can get back in it, but they do. They hit some big shots. They lock it down on defense. They keep things rolling. What San Diego State did against Alabama was very impressive. But I think their game against Creighton was even more impressive. Kyle Brenner had a chance to dominate. He had a chance to take that game over. He had a chance to win that game on his own. However, the defense flustered him, made him miss a lot of easy ones right there at the rim. I mean, he makes 1 or 2 of the 18 layups he missed. Should be dunking it, big fella. Should be dunking it. I'm glad you didn't know. I appreciate the money. But if you out there dunking the ball, bro, y'all win that game by 10. Easily. But you out there right at the rim, come out just short off the rim, rolling around the rim. Stop finger rolling, bro. You 7'2". He's got the Tim Duncan game without the Tim Duncan skills. I wish he was more like Dwight Howard in his youth. If that makes any sense to anybody, it's probably not. They're like, well, Tim Duncan was great. Yes, the greatest. But Tim Duncan's mentality was smooth, get mine. Ooh, ooh, off glass. Bop. Ooh, finger roll. Bop. Ooh, baby hook. Oh, you got the baby hook. Reverse pivot off the glass. It wasn't dominant. So that's how this kid was trying to play, but he's not making the shots. So just go and duck it. You know? Tim Duncan was skilled enough to not have to use his dominance. Even though he was, I think Tim Duncan's top 3 power forwards all time. Everybody calls him the greatest. I don't know. There's some great ones out there. Anyway, we're not going to get into that debate. And then Florida Atlantic, man. They got their own 7-footer. He plays big, though. That Kansas State game, he came in there and he brought a lunch. You know? He was ready to put in some work that game against Kansas State. Man, it's crazy where we're at. Now we got the Final Four set up. You got San Diego State -2 over Florida Atlantic and UConn. This is the funny part to me. UConn's -5 and a hook over Miami. When Miami took on Texas, the 5 and a hook I saw moved to 3 and a hook within seconds. This 5 and a hook is holding steady. I think the whole world is going to be on both of these favorites coming into this weekend. And I hate to say it, but my initial lean on this Final Four matchups this Saturday, I'll have to tell y'all in a few days, man. I want to go both favorites, but it's something about this Florida Atlantic team and it's something about this Miami team where I can see both of them getting the job done. San Diego State has barely held on to every game, barely fought their way back. San Diego State is 1 or 2 layups made or 1 or 2 missed bad calls away from not even being here. Even that last play against Creighton, hand on the hip. His hand was on the hip. But usually you see referees just take their whistle, put it in their pocket when it gets under 4 seconds. They don't want to be the whistle to determine the game unless it's really blatant, which I think the referees view that called it. It looked pretty blatant. Other angles, it doesn't look like he really pushed him. It looks like he kind of just put his hand there to I don't want to say protect himself, but let him know I'm here. Don't throw an elbow in my face. I thought it was more one of those. I don't think he really pushed him. I think it was just kind of a guard. But they called the foul. He made 1 free throw. And then full court pass, crazy drama. It's supposed to, is it 3 seconds? Is it 0.3? Is it 2.9? Is it point? Was it toe touch the line? Who touched it last? And the ref said, you know what? Brother, don't give a damn. Game's over! And I was like, wow, that's pretty weird. Obviously, 0.3 seconds left for somebody. It's obviously off of Creighton. Don't you think San Diego State should have to just take the ball out one more time? And that ref said, nah, bruh. I'm gone. I'm done with this. It's over! Florida Atlantic moving on. San Diego State moving on. I'm geeked, man. Part of me wants to ride this underdog wave. I've been riding this whole tournament. I've literally been betting nothing but underdogs since the Sweet 16 and having a blast, winning money, turning it up. Looking forward to that. I told you about LSU in the women's and Iowa in the women's. Tonight, I believe you have South Carolina, the dominant South Carolina behind Dawn Staley as a coach. I forget the girl's name who's AJ. I don't want to say the wrong name. I think it's Boston, though. If I'm wrong, slap me. You got South Carolina taking on Maryland. All season teams have been complaining about South Carolina's physicality. South Carolina's go-get-itness. I love it. It's how you're supposed to play the game. You're supposed to play for keeps. You're supposed to play to win. We're not friends, bruh. It's me against you. And I ain't finna lose. 15-point favorites over Maryland. Hot ham. This is an Elite 8 matchup, and it's a 15-point favorite. I will be staying away from this game because who the heck am I to say Maryland's going to stay within 15? I don't know, man. Couldn't call it either way. Kind of want to take a game down here on the 8 o'clock window. You got Ohio State taking on Virginia Tech. Man, I've had some pretty good luck with this women's tournament so far, and by luck I mean I've watched maybe 5 games, bet on maybe 7. Think I lost maybe 1, honestly. Took Iowa last night, -4 on the hook live when they went down early, 8-4. Like I said, I got LSU future winning all. Took Louisville the round before that. I've been kind of just touching it when I can. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like, last night, I literally was like, I wonder if LSU won today. Looked at the thing. They playing right now. Whew. I missed that one, but then I'm sitting there watching LSU go off, and then they do a lot better with the women's than the men's. Men's game ends, and you got to wait 40 minutes and hear Chuck and Kenny and Clark and, I mean, hot ham. Put the game on, bro. Women, they don't give a, they gonna put it on. LSU game, as soon as it was over, boop. You showed them pulling out the ladder to cut the nest down, and they showed Caitlin Clark warming up. And the clock at the top of the screen said 3 minutes. Oh, they about to tip this thing off. Came up to the front, hopped on the laptop, got a good live line I liked. Should have took the first quarter Iowa plus 350. They were down 4. Don't know why it was plus 350. But by the time I got back in the bedroom, it was up 5. That's all I'm going to say. Tonight, though, Ohio State taking on Virginia Tech. Man. This is when I kind of just stay away. I love Ohio State. Just that's the history. I don't know anything about these teams this year. Haven't been watching much women's basketball. But Virginia Tech, I do a lot by numbers. Virginia Tech -2.5 feels like the right move. I just feel like Ohio State, because of history, will be in the Final Four more than Virginia Tech. Nothing to do with players. I should actually look up some metrics before I even try to give out a bet on that. But I'm leaning Virginia Tech as the favorite, small favorite, -2.5. I love that number. However, college basketball is winding down, coming to an ending point, and you're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives. And guess what's revving up? Major League Baseball. I can smell that leather and grass through the screen. Cannot wait for these kids to lacing up those cleats and play a game that really matters. Also, a gift from the gods. Thursday night. Usually Houston Astros are in a blackout market for me. But Thursday night, they will be on ESPN. And I don't usually even care about watching the Astros. But the Astros are playing my White Sox. So, I am looking forward to that. Geeked up, ready to rock. We want to rock. Where I'm at? Major League Baseball. I guess I can give out some futures I took. I'm not like, I'll give them out. I don't love any of these. They're either so square, there's no point in taking them, or they're so long shot juiced, it's like no point in taking them. I had about 10 other bets too that I was like, Dalton Varsho? What am I thinking? When I almost took Dalton Varsho to lead the league in home runs, that's when I knew it was time to go to sleep. Even though he did hit 27 in his rookie year. Who knows what will happen this season. However, a few bets that I did take, I told you 2 months ago, Lance McCullers Jr. will be my pick for the American League Cy Young. I went ahead and put a little some on it again. Also took Jordan Montgomery. Huge long shot, plus 10,000 odds for Jordan Montgomery to be the National League Cy Young Award winner. I think this is all thinking. Ted Williams used to say, if you're not good at thinking, don't think much. I might be overthinking. But I'm thinking, Jordan Montgomery, get him out of New York. They got him to St. Louis. He's able to grow a beard like a normal man should. Able to relax. Ain't got to worry about all the pressure. Putting all them bums and pinstripes on his back. He could just go out there and pitch, baby. Could wear red, ain't gotta wear that ugly navy. Got just a superstar infield behind him, fielding for him. Scoop. I think he's gonna have the best season of his career. He looked fantastic down the stretch for the Cardinals. You got Wayno coming back for his last farewell tour. Jordan Montgomery will be in the shadows all season, and I think he's the kind of guy that's where he thrives. I don't want to interview. I don't want to wake up and see my name in the paper. I don't want to have to shave every day. I damn sure don't give a hot damn about all this BS going on with Yankee fans. And also, why am I the guy that got to put Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge on my back? A lot of problems going on with the Yankees. Nobody believes it. I think Jordan Montgomery has a breakout year with the Cardinals and ends up getting the National League Cy Young. And I don't think nobody talks about him until August. And I got plus 10,000. I will keep updated throughout the season on both of these odds. I'm going to give you this one. I took most RBIs. And I took my guy. This isn't like a numbers bet that I'm thinking, oh, do. I took my guy, man. It's just like Lance. Hold on, let me break it down. Lance McCullers, Verlander's gone. Somebody gonna have to step up. You got 3 or 4 other guys who's already been stepping up and getting better and better. But I think all 4 of those pitchers have reached their ceiling. I think Lance McCullers has been dealing with injuries. He's finally coming into a season healthy. I think this is the year he breaks through the expectations on him and really steps up, breaks through his ceiling, and becomes literally one of the best pitchers in baseball for at least a 2 or 3 season span. So I took Lance McCullers as the Cy Young. I think he'll be he might not be the opening day starter, but I definitely think he'll be the ace for the Astros come June, July, August, and definitely into playoffs. Knock on wood, he can stay healthy. Definitely has dealt with a lot of health issues. Another Houston Astro, though. Like I said, this is my guy. He usually, for the White Sox, gets about 104 or plus RBIs. Last 5 or 6 seasons with the White Sox, he's been top 5, top 10, top 3, even leading the league in RBIs a few times. 2020 MVP Jose Abreu is now with the Astros. That means 2 or 3 things why I'm taking him to lead the league in RBIs. I'm not going to take any shots at my White Sox. I love my White Sox to death. Astros, obviously, have better hitters. It's true. White Sox, good hitters. They need to get a little more consistent here and there. Last season was the worst season for a lot of those guys in a while. A lot of young players. But the Astros are proven hitters. Proven guys that can get on base by taking walks because people fear them in the long ball. I think Jose Abreu is going to he's going to be hitting a little further back in this lineup. Instead of being the cleanup spot, he'll probably be 5 or 6, which, I mean, I think that just helps him out. It might take away 20, 30 at-bats throughout the season, but I think he'll get on. I think he'll come up to the at-bat with runners ready to score almost every time he comes up to the plate. And I think he will deliver because he has delivered his whole career. He's put the work in to deliver his whole career. He is the heart and soul of baseball. It pumps and breathes through him. When you look at Jose Abreu, you see a baseball player. So I'm going Jose Abreu to record most RBIs plus 5,000. Those are the bets I put in last night. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 pitcher win total overs that I've put in as well. Most of these are pretty boring. I don't even know why I did it. I guess I just did it to have something to follow. Most of these are a little juice. Minus 125, minus 125, minus 127, plus 105, minus 103, minus 125, plus 100. Pretty much around even. Some of them a little juice, some of them dead even. Um, let's go through them really quickly, and then I'll break down the NBA playoff picture. I might say that for tomorrow. Uh, I'll see where I'm at after this. Got two bets to give you. Already at the 30-minute mark. Trying to be more conscious of keeping the show under 40 minutes. If this was on cable television, I'd have to get better at cutting the time. I mean, geez, it's just that simple. You gotta do better. All right, let's go. Max Fried, Atlanta Braves. Minus 125 is the number here. Give me over 13 and a half wins. I just need 14 wins from you, baby. Max Fried. Big dog. Obviously, there's a lot to go into these. You need the pitcher to stay healthy. I was mad because I forget who it is. I think it's Kyle Wright. I took Kyle Wright also. And then I look at the screen last night watching the Iowa game, and he's missing the first 15 days on IL. So that's about 2 or 3 starts for sure that I'm going to miss from him throughout the season to try to get him to his win total over. I think he's still good, though. But who knows? A little injury. That 15 days can turn to 45. Come back, re-injure it. End up being out 3 months of the season. That's the type of stuff with baseball, especially this era of baseball. Anytime a pitcher feels a little tingle, I got to go out for 6 months. Which is cool. Let me stop. I'm an old school guy. Pitch through whatever. Play through whatever. It's how I was taught. It's how I was raised. Obviously, it's wrong. The new generation is raised that if you sneeze too hard, you should take 3 days off. And I don't know. To each his own. To each his own. We ain't got to get into all that. But if you crawl through mud, it's a lot easier to walk on dirt than if you're always walking on dirt. You probably struggle when you got to crawl through mud. Anyway, Max Fried over 13.5 wins. Give me the newly Seattle Mariner. I think Seattle Mariners will have a horrible season, honestly. But I think this guy gives them some consistency. Give me Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo, man. It's Luis Castillo. Give me over 11.5 wins for Luis Castillo. Castillo, man. Castillo, man. Luis Castillo. Plus 105 on that over win total. Kyle Wright over 13.5, minus 125. Kyle Wright over 13.5. And then I have 2 Brewers. Kind of scary given that the Brewers look to be dropping this season. But give me Corbin Burnes over 12.5. Always solid Corbin Burnes, minus 127 over 12.5. Also, give me Brandon Woodruff over 12.5. Both of those Brewers over 12.5. Brandon Woodruff minus 103. Corbin Burnes minus 127. Alek Manoah, Blue Jays, baby. Let me get him stepping into a prominent, dominant role. I think he becomes one of the best pitchers in baseball this season. He's been on the fringe the last couple seasons, upcoming name. These type of things to go either way. He could fall off and be trash the rest of his career, or he can elevate to be great. Alek Manoah over 12.5, minus 125. Aaron Nola is the other one. The Phillies old timer, Aaron Nola. Give me him over 12.5 wins. I guess I can run through them real quick one more time. I got Max Fried, Luis Castillo, Kyle Wright, Corbin Burnes, Brandon Woodruff, Alek Manoah, and Aaron Nola, all over their win total for the season. That's all I've got so far. As far as futures on MLB baseball, I'll spend the rest of this week probably getting prepared for opening day action. Thursday comes, I'll have some bets for you guys. I'm a big strikeout total over under. I'm a big total base over under, and I'm a big money line run line over under better. But those are my only two props I really like is the strikeouts and the total bases. Don't really mess with too much of that other jazz. I mean, I literally Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases every game last season, eating it up. You're listening to Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives. I have two bets for you guys tonight that I am looking at. Give me the Pacers on the money line, taking on the Mavericks. You can get the Pacers at minus 109, taking on the Mavericks tonight. Mavericks have been real rocky, real shaky. The morale is rock bottom. Their superstar, the crybaby himself, Luka Doncic, got a 16 technical the other night. Believe he will be out tonight, which leaves Kyrie Irving. And trust me, everything in me thinks because Luka's out, Kyrie will just drop 50 and win somehow. And Luka's really the reason that they lose because he's trash and cries and don't pass the ball or play defense. But he's a superstar. So why I don't watch the NBA? Pretty boring, pretty trash stuff there. Tonight I will be on the Young Gunners, the Indiana Pacers money line, taking on Dallas Mavericks. The money line's minus 109. The other bet I got tonight, give me the New York Knicks. Not the Knicks. Knicks take on the Rockets. Give me Julius Randle of the New York Knicks to give me over 39 and a hook points, rebounds, assist. That's over 39 and a hook of points, rebounds, and assist. Definitely think Randle could just get this off of points alone. Think he has a crazy monster night, drops 35, 8, and 7. Definitely thinks he goes over this. Boo! Easy. It's a little juiced, minus 124. So you got to put a little something extra on it just to get your thing right. But ain't nobody mad at it. They might be mad at it, but I ain't mad at it. So that's the two bets I got for you guys tonight. Indiana Pacers, a money line over the Mavericks, and Julius Randle over 39 and a half points, rebounds, assist. Also, I do still like that Virginia Tech minus 2.5 in the women's Elite Eight. I'm gonna think about it a little more. Probably won't take it. If I do, it'll be at 7:50 right before the tip. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for the love. Exciting week coming up. Final Four countdown. MLB opening day countdown. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's Captain by a Hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives. Please take all wagers at your own risk, and please gamble responsibly. Dives.